Picture this, 1991. In our world, Yugoslavia unraveled, Slovenia and Croatia declared independence, wars erupted, Bosnia burned, Sarajevo besieged, Srebrenica stained Europe with genocide. By decade's end, federation shattered into pieces, scars still raw. But here, story bends, imagine Yugoslavia reforms peacefully. Slobodan Milicevic, instead of inflaming nationalism, forced into compromise by united opposition. Federal system revised, greater autonomy for republics, fairer representation, looser union resembling confederation. Slovenia free to trade, Croatia proud of identity, Bosnia secure in equality, Serbia respected not feared. Instead of gunfire, debates in parliament. Instead of trenches, treaties, Yugoslavia survives. The first shock ripples through Balkans. Families divided by borders, relieved cousins in Zagreb and Belgrade still part of same federation. Villages in Bosnia, where neighbors once turned on each other, remain communities of Serbs, Croats, Bosniaks living together. Sarajevo, instead of ruined, thrives as multicultural jewel, cafes filled with laughter, mosques and churches standing side by side without snipers. Lives change instantly. A Croatian teenager who in our world fled shelling, stays home, graduates, dreams of tourism business. A Bosniak mother who once buried sons in mass grave, here watches them grow into men. A Serbian soldier who would have fought in Kosovo instead studies engineering, never holding rifle. A Macedonian farmer sells produce across border without fear of checkpoints. Globally, impact seismic. In our world, Yugoslav Wars disillusioned Europe, tested NATO, scarred UN without wars, Balkans stable, EU expands smoothly. Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia join EU earlier, Serbia too. Federation negotiating collectively. By 2000s, Yugoslavia transformed into democratic confederation, multi-ethnic success, example for world. For NATO, absence of Balkan wars means number 1999 Kosovo intervention, no bombing of Belgrade. Alliance reputation less tarnished, Russian resentment smaller. Russia, in our world outraged by NATO and Balkans, here calmer, relationship with West less poisoned. Cold War scars heal faster, culturally, blossoms instead of ruins. Film directors from Sarajevo and Belgrade collaborate, not divided. Music thrives, rock bands touring across federation, folk blending traditions. Sports stronger, Yugoslav basketball, already legendary, dominates Olympics as united team. Football team of 1990s, never split, wins World Cup or European Championship, uniting region in pride. Children grow up with heroes, not warlords. Economically, stability pays. Yugoslavia, with Adriatic coast, industrial centers, agriculture, and transit position, becomes economic hub. Foreign investment pours, tourism booms. Dubrovnik, Split, Belgrade, Sarajevo marketed together. Highways and railways connect, pipelines run safely. Instead of smuggling, warlords, and sanctions, prosperity grows, but ripple extends beyond Balkans. Without wars, concept of ethnic cleansing never scars 1990s vocabulary. International law evolves differently, less urgency for tribunals. Humanitarian intervention doctrine weaker, perhaps Rwanda gets more attention instead of Bosnia. NATO less activist, EU less anxious, for individuals, lives rewritten. A Bosnian child who in our world spent youth in refugee camp instead studies medicine at Sarajevo University. A Croatian architect builds hotels in Dalmatian coast, not designing shelters. A Serbian grandmother spends retirement in peace, not mourning bombings. An Albanian in Kosovo negotiates rights peacefully, not through uprising. By 2000s, Balkans integrated in EU and NATO, Schengen borders open, young people travel freely from Ljubljana to Skopje. Diaspora smaller, brain drain reversed, immigrants return to build. GDP higher, cities modernized, poverty reduced. World politics really do shift, don't they? Imagine if Yugoslavia had stayed intact. NATO's expansion might have gone a lot smoother. Russia wouldn't feel so isolated, maybe even a bit less hostile down the line. Sure, Putin would still rise to power, but his rhetoric could be a lot weaker without that NATO bombing of Serbia hanging over everyone's heads. When the Ukraine crisis hit in 2014, it would play out in a totally different light, right? Without those heavy memories of Belgrade, the whole situation might not have felt so charged. It's wild to think how much the past shapes our present, and those little changes could have led to a less tense atmosphere in Eastern Europe. What do you think? Would things really be different? Middle East indirectly altered too. In our world, NATO intervention in Kosovo emboldened West to intervene in Iraq. Without precedent, appetite smaller, Iraq war perhaps avoided or delayed. Global politics less militarized, trust between Russia and West less frayed. Yugoslavia isn't just known as the powder keg of Europe. It's also remembered as a miracle of sorts, a multi-ethnic democracy that thrived in a tough region. Think about it, universities in Belgrade and Zagreb pull in students from all over Europe, creating a vibrant atmosphere of learning and exchange. Sarajevo buzzes with cultural festivals that celebrate its rich heritage, while the stunning Adriatic coast gives Greece and Italy a run for their money when it comes to tourism. And let's not forget how literature, cinema, and sports came together to create a shared identity that really united people. It's a fascinating blend of cultures that deserves to be celebrated, right? Yet challenges remain. Nationalism never disappears, corruption persists, politics messy. But with peaceful reforms, crises handled through ballots, not bullets. Kosovo negotiated autonomy, Macedonia respected, Bosnia functioning, difficult but not disastrous. By 2010s, Balkans not war-torn but prosperous. EU citizenship common, euros in pockets, airports busy. Generations grow up without trauma of war, open to world. Refugee crises from Middle East handled with empathy, remembering solidarity not suffering. Would this world be better? For millions in Balkans, beyond doubt lives spared, homes intact, cultures preserved. For Europe, stronger, no shame of inaction, no scars of genocide on doorstep. For world, safer Cold War reconciliation smoother, NATO less militarized, Russia less resentful. In our history, Yugoslav Wars left graves, ruins, trauma, but had they never happened, Balkans might be symbol not of tragedy but of resilience, bridge not barrier, hope not despair. So, what do you think? Could Yugoslavia really have reformed peacefully, or was nationalism too strong to resist? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe to Sheriff Reactions. Hit the bell for daily flips where we explore not just what happened but what might have been.